We're now at the halfway point of the series, and boy, things take a turn for the unexpected. Hello everyone, Mega Man NG here, and this is my review of this week's episode of Samurai Jack, episode XCVI, or rather episode 5 of season 5. This review won't be long because I'm going to be quite busy, so here's the deal. I'm going to be providing a little bit of summary, as well as what I consider some of the main points that I really enjoy in the episode, because what's the point? This episode is too perfect. It keeps getting better and better and better. And this is the episode where the main story is about to kick in. Let's get started. An army of epic proportions marches onto Aku's base, led by a person we know all too well. Things sadly go pretty bad, but that isn't the end of it. Ashi wishes to know the truth about Aku despite Jack's objections. So instead, Jack shows her what Aku has done to the world, and she sees for herself firsthand the wrath of the sorcerer. Is it enough to convince her, or does she need something much more? Yeah, this episode, it went from zany in the beginning to outright emotional at the end. It was like a roller coaster ride, and all throughout it was very well handled. Genndy Tartakovsky does it again with another well done episode. I loved it. You know what my rating is going to be in the end, so I'm not going to say it here. But what I can say is that there are a lot of good things. For starters, we have Aku again. Aku's back. But by this point, it's not like he gives a crap. He doesn't give a crap. And he basically steamrolls the enemy army like they were nothing. He didn't care. He felt like he was bored. I guess after 50 years, you pretty much can tell you don't want to deal with this anymore. And also, the Scotsman is back. And man, things have been quite busy for him these past 50 years. He's old, on a wheelchair, and replaced one of his legs with a machine gun. How awesome is that? Not to mention, he got a little bit busy. Yeah, you can tell all those women behind him. Those are his kids. I really didn't expect the Scotsman and his wife to get quite busy for the sake of procreation. And we ended up getting an army of epic proportions, an army of feminine proportions. But sadly, the Scotsman gets beat, which is one of the nitpicks I have with this episode. The Scotsman, as much as I love seeing him again, and this may be spoiler territory, but honestly, who cares? He gets killed off in the first 6 minutes, and all I could say is, why? Why would you kill off the Scotsman, since he never had his reunion with Jack in 50 years? But of course he isn't really dead, because the sword that he has is magical, and for some reason he now lives on as a spirit. Not that it's bad, but it felt kind of a bummer, but what will happen from there, who knows? Who really knows? The next part of it, the second half of the episode, centered on Jack and Ashi, and I like how they're continuing to bond. The chemistry they have is very strong, with Ashi being so focused on wanting to know more about Aku's actions, but Jack seems reluctant. He seems more distant towards that, and Ashi thinks that Jack may be a liar. Can't say I blame her. But eventually Jack decides to show Ashi what happens. I mean, in this case, he shows Ashi the consequences of Aku's actions, and how Aku basically ravaged the world, ravaging past, present, and future, and she actually gets to see the destruction and carnage up close. It's terrifying, it's emotional, but at the same time, it provides more character development for Ashi. It helps build things up gradually, and I like that. And what I also liked was seeing the two working together to save a group of people from some evil factory, and things just get really dicey, especially for Jack having to deal with these children who end up turned into monsters by some sort of mechanized douchebag. And speaking of the mechanized douchebag, I'm reminded how he sounds. He's reminding me of Moltar, where surprisingly enough, they aired an old Tsunami ad during a commercial. Good times. But still, seeing Ashi gets like a bit tortured with electricity, that's scary. But it didn't stop her. He kicked her butt. She kicked his butt, and it was just that good. She was able to free the children, but by that point, Jack went nuts. And yes, Jack still has his insecurities about forgetting his purpose, and the Dark Samurai, which does appear at the end of the episode, with him saying, "It's time." And the response? Yes, it is time, and he goes with them. leaving Ashi trying to find Samurai Jack, setting up a marvelous good cliffhanger, and as we saw the preview for the next episode, it's now a journey for her, and I like this. I like how this is setting up for the next episode, building up more and more and continuing this story arc. It's perfect. It truly is perfect. Now, aside from the one complaint about with the Scotsman, which is nice seeing him again, the episode was pretty solid. I am not going to give this a perfect 10. I'm instead giving it a 9.5 because the episode was just marvelous. It was marvelous, action-packed, with a lot of humor courtesy of Aku and the Scotsman, of course, especially the Scotsman. I mean, he kept on blabbing to Aku over and over and over until Aku was like, screw this, I beam, you're dead. Can we blame him? Not really. But I really liked the episode because it did have a lot of impressive action. The humor was there, the emotion was there, the tension was there, and it felt dark and serious, especially at the ending bit when Jack trying to survive against mind-controlled children. That is dark. I really mean it's absolutely dark. But with a show like this on its final season, they're pulling out all the stop, and I'm enjoying every single bit of it. Bottom line, this episode gets a 9.5 from me, and if you have not seen it, what are you waiting for? Watch the episode right now. Don't watch my review. Watch the episode, and then come back here. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think of the episode in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you guys. And that is going to be it for this episode review of Samurai Jack. Next week will be XCVI. We're almost at the end, and this is going to get really grand. I look forward to see how this series ends. And when it does end, I will be doing a full throttle review, meaning I'm going to be discussing not only the review itself, but also Season 5 as a whole, as well as my godforsaken thanks to Genndy Tartakovsky for giving us an amazing series that's going to finally get closure. Alright, that's it. That's it for my review. If you enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. If you've seen the episode, let me know what you think in the comments. Please be sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, click on the bell to know when I'll upload next. And if you want to be more awesome, check out my Patreon. I promise not to disappoint. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out. See you next week for XCVII.